Hi, today from Iceland, from Reykjavik. Today we'll be talking about Bitcoin, and I will give you 7 reasons why Bitcoin is an Icelander. You will find out why after a short break. Hi again from Iceland, from Reykjavik. 7 reasons why Bitcoin is an Icelander. First reason, Bitcoin is unchangeable. Unchangeable like the Icelandic language. Many people don't know, but Icelandic language hasn't changed for over 1,000 years. Since Iceland was created, the language didn't change. They have the same spelling, the same grammar. Of course, there are new words for technical developments, but generally there is no change in the language. And people who speak Icelandic, they can read the text from 1,000 years ago. Try to read text in English language or in your language, which are 1,000 years old. Try to read, let's say, Shakespeare and understand it. It's very difficult to understand. Also, Shakespeare is 500 years. What about older texts? It's hardly possible to read them, but not in Icelandic. So this is the first reason. The second reason, Bitcoin is very democratic, meaning everybody can access Bitcoin by installing a wallet. Everybody can mine a Bitcoin. There is no privilege in access to the network. There are no people who can print money, print Bitcoin for free. You have to invest work, proof of work. You have to invest energy, then you can mine Bitcoin. Or you can acquire Bitcoin by buying Bitcoin, right? You can't get Bitcoin for free. It's very symmetric for everybody. The access to Bitcoin is the same. Also worldwide, there are no privileged countries and there are no privileged people with Bitcoin, unlike the financial system. But why is it Icelandic? Why is it similar to Iceland? Because Iceland has the oldest working parliament in the world. The Parliament of Iceland, it's called Althing. It was created in 1930. For the first time, it gathered in 1930, and it's still in operation. Of course, it was when it first met, it was more of a let's say convent of elders, union of elders, not like of the family chiefs, not of everybody. But then it evolved, of course, and today the place when it gathered for the first time is used as the place where all the nation gathers in order to run plebiscites, right? If there is a plebiscite needed to vote on an issue, on a very important issue like, let's say, access to European Union, then people meet at that place where the first outing gathered for the first time. The third reason why Bitcoin is an Icelander is persistent. It can withstand against all adversity. And it is like the Icelanders who survive, and not only survive, but they also thrive in extreme conditions. These are climatic conditions. These are also conditions of limited food supply in the history, right? They didn't have access to much food here. They didn't have access not even to building material. They didn't have even wood to build their homes. They had to import wood from Denmark, and nevertheless, they survived. They didn't have enough meat, so they needed to use meat of uneatable, unedible fish like sharks, and then ferment that fish. If you ate fresh shark meat, you died. If you ate a fish, shark, that was fermented for only, let's say, 3 months, then you got blind. Only if you waited 6 months, 6 months of fermentation, only then it could be eaten without any risk, any hazard to your health. So only then you could digest it. So imagine all these people trying to make food out of these unedible creatures that they got out of the waters here. The same with whales. The same maybe with different birds like puffins, and so on and so on. So, and then you had like adversary conditions of volcanoes here, earthquakes, geysers, and then also glaciers, meaning huge amounts or huge areas of the island of Iceland are covered and were covered with glaciers that you couldn't put any crops on it. Nothing could survive on a glacier. So they were excluded from any usage. And nevertheless, Icelanders survived and thrived. And the same is with Bitcoin, who survived all the crises, different crises, different crashes, different, let's say, exchange hacks, different also COVID crises. Bitcoin was declared dead over 1,000 times already in the course of Bitcoin's history. But nevertheless, Bitcoin still survives and it thrives, and with every cycle it gets stronger and stronger, and also stronger in price. And when we are talking about price, we come to the fourth reason why Bitcoin is an Icelander. Because Bitcoin's price can shoot up suddenly like a geyser in Iceland. And geysers in Iceland are famous. Or it can even explode like a volcano, which explode here every several years in Iceland. And it's completely unpredictable whether it will shoot up or go down today. It can also collapse, like the tectonic plates in Iceland that go down when the tectonic plates go apart. So it's completely unpredictable, like the nature in Iceland is unpredictable. The weather changes every half an hour, 1 hour, every 2 hours. So today, for example, it rained. It's middle of summer, and it got between sun, wind, weather, and rain. I think it rained already 10 times, at least 10 times today. So it's completely unpredictable. You can't base your plans on weather forecasts, on Google weather, anything, because it's unpredictable. And in that sense, Bitcoin is also an Icelander. Its price is completely unpredictable, of course in a short term, and it can collapse every day, every minute. It can also shoot up or even explode. Like it can go up $1,000 a day, it can go even up $5,000 a day. It happened already, and it may happen in the future that we'll see Bitcoin go up $10,000 and more maybe within a day. Okay, so the fifth reason why Bitcoin is an Icelander is because it is outside the system. Like Iceland is outside the system of European Union. It's not a part of the European Union, although it is part of the Schengen Treaty and also part of the common European, I think, economic area. It's called European Economic Area, meaning Iceland takes advantage of all the good things in Europe, meaning being able to move people and goods through borders without tariffs and without any barriers, without any limits, but not being involved and not financing all the bureaucracy and the, let's say, sovereignty killing politics of European Union. It is a completely sovereign country and it makes its own rules, but it takes advantage of the good things in European Union without being bothered by the drawbacks of this political creation. And the same is with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is outside the financial system. It is the answer, the antidote to our traditional financial system. It isn't bothered by the limitations of that system, by any, rules that are given to that system, that are enforced by political bodies, by any sanctions or any rules that are being imposed on the movement of capital, of payments in the traditional system. But it takes advantage of the drawbacks, of the limitations and of the weaknesses of the traditional system. So in that case, in this sense, Bitcoin is also an Icelander. The sixth reason why Bitcoin is an Icelander is the peacefulness of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the power for peace, to protect in today's system, in today's financial system, the wealth, the financial system is protected by the power of an army, by many wars around the world. These wars, this global, let's say, army or army with a global presence protects or sustains the financial system as we know it today. But with Bitcoin, it isn't needed. The protection of property and of that financial system is guaranteed by algorithm and by consensus. And this consensus is based on a peaceful power of electricity. You don't need to kill people, you don't need to spend people's lives in order to protect this financial system, in order to protect wealth that is stored in Bitcoin. The only thing that is needed is electric power. This is generally electricity bill. So it is, some people say, if Bitcoin becomes a global financial, or the basis of the global financial system, all the wars that we know today will go away. This will put an end to all the wars. And why is it Icelandic? Because Iceland is the most peaceful country in the world. It got independent without any bloodshed. With not a single person died when Iceland became independent from Denmark. And as far as I know, Iceland didn't have any war since its independence. Iceland doesn't have an army, and there is virtually no crime in Iceland. The policemen in Iceland, they are of course used for minor things like traffic tickets, like also tourist information, stuff like that. But there is almost no crime from what I've heard, there is only 1.5 homicide per year in the entire country, on average. And you can see, and there is no security, no protection needed for anything in Iceland. You can see here behind me, this is the office of the President of Iceland, and there is no security whatsoever. There are no security people, there are no cameras. You could come up to the door and knock at the door. Maybe you can even enter, maybe it's not even locked. Also, the parliament doesn't have a security. It is, of course, good for the people here because the politicians know they are not protected by anybody, so they don't do any stupid things, don't do any stupid moves. The only institution, the only house that has security in Iceland is, guess what? US Embassy. This is the only institution that needs protection, that has protection, security in Iceland. So, very peaceful country, extreme peaceful country, and this is the same with Bitcoin. Iceland and Bitcoin are powers for peace. That's why Bitcoin is an Icelander. So that's it for today from Reykjavik. If you like this video, give me a thumb up. If not, of course, thumb down. Subscribe if you haven't. Share this video with your loved ones, with your friends. One time they will thank you. I talk here a lot about economy, about money, about hard money like Bitcoin. I talk also about doing great, impossible things in life and business. I talk about how the best entrepreneurs in our life think and act, how the self-made billionaires of our times think and act. So if you like this video, you will certainly like my other videos. I invite you to watch them. That's it for today. Wish you a fantastic day. Let's do something extraordinary today.